So the first thing I want to show is, so there was a question about how to do railings on an angle. So the railings are usually hosted by an element, so it's really depending on what is hosting that railing. So just showing you guys very quickly in a 3D view that if you want to put in a floor like that, you can also put in a sloped arrow, and you can define what is the offset you're getting, just to make it a bit bigger. I'll give it a meter, and then you apply, you make that so it's an angled floor. And then when you go to your 3D view and you put your railing on top of it, it shows like that, but it's also like that. You can pick the host, and now it's the floor is hosting the railing, and that makes it go on the angle. The other question, which I think a lot of you know by now, is about how to hide and unhide, and also how to copy and paste. So very simply, whatever you have selected, you can right click, go to hide in view, and then either it's by elements or categories. You can hide that category of all the walls or whatever, and then or the element. And then if you want to unhide, you will just click on this little bulb down there, and then all the hidden objects are showing up. You will select and you do unhide in view element, so it's back. You will click on that again, you're back to normal viewing. About copying, so if you have something selected in your model, you can copy that, and then when you want to paste, it will give you a few different options. You can paste it in the same place, you can paste it in the aligned place in the selected view, or you can align to the current view that you are in. So let's say you want to copy that floor and repeat it in all the other levels that you have. You would just select them from here and copy it in all of them. The next thing was a bit more about the curtain wall system. So let's say we have a wall. And this is actually a curtain wall. So we'll just select that and go change the type to a curtain wall. We'll go edit type, fixed distance, okay. And also we can say where to justify them from, so center and center. Then we can give it all the mullions as well. So first of all, if you go to your level 1, and if you have an existing wall, let's say that, you can align your curtain wall to this existing wall by just lost it there. So we'll go sit in the middle, but if you go to your 3D view, you're not really seeing much of it. But if you select your curtain wall and go to edit type and check automatically embed here, then say OK, it will read the curtain wall as a glass piece into an existing wall, and just wherever you move it, it will show up as a glass piece embedded inside a curtain wall. So as you can see, when I move it, it may disappear because the alignment is gone. So you need to go back to your floor views and make sure they are aligned. Like that. And then you can do some more interesting things with your curtain wall that is already embedded in an existing wall. And you can deal with them as a window type. Okay, the other thing you could do now that we have a wall that is defined as a curtain wall, you could edit your profile. And if you need to put in some curves, like in Callum's project, you were saying that the curtain wall was coming around some circles, but because the mullions were straight, it was not forming a perfect circle around them. Maybe this is a way to deal with issues like that. So you can place a curved line as a part of your profile. And then you'll get that, which has the mullion, it's all following the curves. So that's the way to put curves in your curtain wall. Unfortunately, there is not a very good tool to put curved mullions in. One way would be to go in and tab, select your panels and edit and place the families and do it through massing, which I'll show you guys how to do some massing today. But the other way may be to kind of fake it and just select this, copy that, go paste in the same place. Now we'll go edit my profile, and now I'll move these around to go back there maybe. Remove constraints, delete element, then move this up. Continue. Okay, now this is kind of a way to fake that angled mullion. So if I again go to my mullions all and pick that. Now I am showing an angled mullion, but not really, so that may be a way to faken it. And then the other thing is good to know is how to deal with the angles on a curtain wall. That was another question about that. So when you select an angle wall, this thing will show up in the middle. That is configure grid layout. So if you click on that, it will give you the location of the alignment, so you can change that. It would also give you some angle editing tools on the side. So I can give this 30 and it will rotate on 30 degrees. So that's how. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So so whenever you deal with a curtain wall, because you're moving things around, it will delete all of the mullions. So you can always go back and do all mullions selected again. So they'll come back very easily. So. Walls and cut tools. So the other thing is, let's say again you have this wall, and this is a generic 200 millimeters wall. In your floor plan, you have another wall that is from a different type, and you put it in place there, and they're still overlapping, and you give it a different height there. And then now this is a full wall and this is a full wall. But if you want to cut them through, you can use in your modify tool the cut tool and select this and cut it with that. Now this really understands that cut. So if you are making a section or seeing it through some more detailing, that cuts make sense, and then you can also join them so that. If I join this and that, now this edge has gone too. So now there are two walls that is actually joining and actually cutting through. So it's a clean way of overlapping stuff. It understands what each of them is doing. A lot of times when you have different materials on your wall or something like that, this is an interesting tool to know about. And then yeah, so in a way, I'm guessing maybe some of those massing wall by face issues that you're having, some of them are solvable through joining and cutting. Some of them are problematic, you can't do anything about them, but some of them may be solvable through that. The last thing is about stairs. I think we talked about that last time, but just to show it one more time, I think it was Linfun's project that we talked about this. So when you have a stair, it will just read the treads and risers based on a standard that is given to it. You can change the type, but you could also go in and manually change stuff. So if I go in and I say, okay, I want this to be 300 and I want this to be 150, then I think it didn't change, but the type 300, 150, okay. Now you see the angle of how the stair is put in place has changed, so it's more of a ladder than a stair now. So that's another tool that you could work with. So just make sure always duplicate and don't mess with the things you already have in your model. Okay, those were the questions I wanted to